In this lesson, we'll learn how to create the cylinder fold shape. So in the last lesson, we went over the drop fold shape. We're going to continue to build on these folds with the cylinder fold shape. So this fold is typically seen when fabric is hanging from multiple evenly spaced tension points. So if we look at this reference, this shower curtain is a good example. The hooks are evenly spaced across this top portion of the fabric, and the fabric just hangs and creates these cylinder shapes that come down. We can also see this in skirts on dresses. So same thing, these would be, the evenly spaced tension points, and then they drop down to create these cylinder shapes. So how this relates to our cowboy character is we're going to add a poncho onto his outfit. And this is probably the closest thing that is to a cylinder fold. We probably won't use this in the end for his final image, but I think it's a good exercise. So what I'm going to do is go back to ZBrush, and what I'm going to do is I originally thought that I was going to create a poncho that went over his shoulder, but I think I'm going to do something more like this now. So I'm just going to modify this by coming back here, and I'm just going to hold Control and Shift and draw this green box out, and then press Alt. And once I've done that, and you see I've sort of I've gotten the front part, so I'm just going to Control Shift and click back out here. And I'm just going to get a little bit better angle and do the same thing, Control Shift, draw a green box, hold down the Alt, and then let go. So now I still have these front polygons. So you can see if I actually have one here that's still there, so I'm going to just get rid of that and just undo that because I ended up getting the ones in the back. So just do this one more time, and you can see I have one left right here, one stray one. So I'm just going to get rid of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to Geometry, Modify Topology, and Delete Hidden. I'm then going to also click Close Holes. So what I want to do now is I just want to subdivide this a couple times, and then go to my Move Brush by using my hotkey that I set up in an earlier lesson, using the 1 key, and then making my brush big. Make sure I'm in X symmetry, and actually what I probably want to do is mask this top part off. Just real quickly so I'm not pulling this top part down. And then I just want to pull this down so I get a poncho shape. Make sure it's covering the arms, and just bring it straight down, and then do the same thing on the back. So just pull this down, make sure it's covering everything. Maybe just smooth it out just a little bit. So looks something like that. I probably want to bring these corners down because if I look at my reference, you see it's just basically a square that's just has a hole cut out. So probably just bring it down to something right about there. Make sure it covers the arms correctly, and just kind of smooth this out just a little bit. So do the same thing on the back. Just kind of create these corners and just smooth it out just a little bit, and make sure that this is all covered. So I'm just going to clear that mask, and then maybe just subdivide it a couple more times. And then what I want to do is just go to my Fold 1 brush, and just real quickly just turn off my polyframe by clicking Shift F, and then just block in some of these folds real quickly. So the shoulders would be a tension point coming down, and then also in the elbow region, And then also the chest a little bit, the chest kind of comes out and the cloth would probably hang off of the chest. So you probably get some tension right here as well. So go back to the move brush and kind of fix this a little bit. And then just kind of fit this onto his arms. So here we go, we're on the here. And then I'm probably want to get out of X symmetry just so I can fix this side. Push this out a little bit. I want to bring this down, probably straight down. So bring this over, then make sure that's covered. And just do the same thing on the back. Go back to X symmetry, go to Fold 01, and just think about the tension points, here in the shoulders, creating folds here, in the elbows, forearm region, making sure that this is kind of hugging the arm. So bring that in a bit. So here we go, tucking that in. So what I want to do is go back to Fold 01 and just kind of work these until it feels right. We're not going to spend too much time on this. This is probably an element we probably won't use. So just kind of keep moving along and just kind of building up these forms, adding more folds, kind of making sure the shape of them looks correct. Maybe smooth that out a little bit. So maybe go to Fold 2, get out of X symmetry, and just kind of start making these folds feel a little bit tighter at the top. And then maybe some small ones that come off. So just kind of working these a little bit. So just working on this side, and then I'll jump to the next side. So just goes around and bring that around there. And just kind of putting in some smaller, tighter folds up here. Just keep working it on these folds. And just break this up a little bit. So I'm just going to smooth that a little bit right here. So, and then just kind of go to my move brush, just nudge this so it's lying right on top of the elbow and forearm. So here we go. And then kind of push this up. Just give it more of a feeling that it's dangling off of the body. So I just want to kind of actually maybe just mask this off and go to my move brush and just kind of push this in a little bit. So I'm getting the feeling that it's going in. This is going in and then out and then in. So I'm just going to go back here and I'm just going to do that real quickly to this. And just push this in. So pull that out a little bit, clear my mask, pull it out, make sure this is covering the body. And we're not going to spend too much more time on this. Just kind of wrap this up in a little bit. I think you kind of get the idea. I want to just go ahead and just maybe just do a quick clay polish on it. So there's a really rough poncho. If we were actually going to use this in the final image, I probably would spend more time on it, but since this is just an accessory that we're probably not going to use, I don't want to spend too much more time on it. So I'd rather focus on the main pieces of clothing that this character is wearing. So just to wrap it up, we went over the cylinder fold shape and then continued to sculpt our cowboy character. And in the next lesson, we will cover the final fold shape, which is the inert fold shape. All right, see you in the next lesson.